The word dangerous usually brings to mind someone violent or aggressive. But there's another kind of danger, the kind that comes in silence, in calm, in being unreadable. That's the kind of danger that surrounds the Sigma male. Sigma males don't chase power the way alphas do. They don't follow the crowd like betas. They move on their own. They think independently. They don't need a group, a title, or anyone's approval to feel strong. And that's exactly what makes them so unpredictable, and sometimes dangerous. This doesn't mean Sigma males are bad people. In fact, many of them live with strong values, quiet discipline, and self-control. But those same traits can also flip. When a Sigma male disconnects emotionally, refuses to explain himself, or cuts off the world completely, it can cause real damage, to others or even to himself. That's what this video is about. We're going to look at 6 reasons why the Sigma male can be more dangerous than people realize. These aren't just random opinions. They're based on real patterns in how Sigma types behave, especially when they lean too far into their own world and stop letting anyone in. This isn't a warning to stay away from Sigma males. It's a look into what happens when quiet strength turns into quiet harm. If you are one, or know one, this might help you understand what's really going on beneath the surface. Let's break it down. Reason number 1, extreme emotional detachment. Sigma males are known for staying cool under pressure. They don't explode in public. They don't cry in front of people. They keep their emotions close and private. But when that control becomes too strong, it turns into something else. Emotional detachment. Emotional detachment can be a defense. It helps Sigma males stay focused, make smart decisions, and avoid drama. But it also means they disconnect from the emotional experience of others. They might not notice when someone around them is hurting. They might not respond when a relationship needs warmth or vulnerability. And when someone calls them out, they might not understand why it matters. This becomes dangerous in relationships, friendships, and even work environments. People start to feel like they're talking to a wall, like nothing gets through. And when emotions do break through, it might be in unexpected, bottled-up ways that catch everyone off guard. There's also a deeper risk. The Sigma male himself may begin to lose track of his own feelings. He avoids them for so long, he forgets what they're trying to tell him. He may miss signs of burnout, loneliness, or even mental stress, all because he taught himself to keep everything inside. The danger here isn't rage. It's silence. Cold, numb, unfeeling silence that spreads through every part of life if left unchecked. So how does a Sigma male handle this without losing who he is? The solution is awareness. He doesn't need to cry in public or share his emotions with everyone. But he does need to check in with himself. Writing down thoughts, spending quiet time reflecting, or talking with one trusted person can help. It's not about becoming soft, it's about staying human. Emotional control is power. But emotional connection is what keeps that power from turning into damage. Reason number 2, unpredictable behavior or decision-making. Most people give off signals when they're about to do something big, a shift in tone, a warning, some sign of what's coming. Sigma males? Not always. Their independence gives them freedom. But it also makes their decisions unpredictable to those around them. Sigma males don't ask for permission. If something isn't working, they leave. If a situation turns fake, they cut ties. They won't always explain why. They won't always warn you first. One day they're present, the next they're gone, mentally, emotionally, or physically. This unpredictability makes them hard to rely on in traditional ways. You can't always read what they're thinking. You can't always plan around them. And for people who value structure or communication, that becomes a real problem. The Sigma male doesn't do this out of cruelty. In his mind, he's just making the right move at the right time. But from the outside, it looks like he's careless, selfish, or even unstable. The real danger isn't just the action, it's the lack of connection around it. When a Sigma male changes direction without including others, people get hurt. They feel abandoned, shocked, or betrayed. Even if the decision was right, the way it's delivered can do damage. There's also the risk that the Sigma male himself starts to move through life without grounding. If he's always acting on instinct or logic, without checking how it affects others, he may build a life that's efficient, but empty. So what's the answer? Balance. Keep the freedom, but build a habit of communication. A short message, a quick heads up, or a basic explanation can go a long way. You don't need to explain every thought, just enough so people don't feel like they're being tossed aside without warning. Unpredictability might feel like freedom. But if no one can walk with you, what are you really gaining? Reason number 3, strategic manipulation. Under the radar Sigma, males are thinkers. They observe before they speak. They study patterns, read people, and play the long game. That kind of mental sharpness gives them an edge. But it also opens the door to something darker, quiet manipulation. Unlike someone who controls others through shouting or force, the Sigma male can influence people through silence, strategy, and subtle pressure. He knows what to say and when to say it. He knows how to withhold just enough to keep people guessing. He may never raise his voice, but he still knows how to steer a situation. In some cases, this isn't harmful. It's just awareness. But when used for selfish reasons, it becomes dangerous. People around him may start making decisions they think are their own, not realizing they were being led. Friends might give in. Partners might back down. Co-workers might follow without understanding why. The Sigma male may not even realize he's doing it. He sees the world as a chessboard, and he's just moving carefully. But that detachment from emotion and outcome can turn into cold calculation. If he loses empathy in the process, he might start using people like tools instead of treating them as individuals. This is especially true in relationships. Silence becomes control. Distance becomes punishment. And the Sigma male, without meaning to, might end up causing harm just by managing people instead of connecting with them. So how can this be handled? Start by checking motives. If you're making moves that benefit you but leave others confused or cornered, step back. Ask yourself whether you're being honest, not just with your words, but with your intentions. Clear communication might not feel natural, but it's what keeps strategy from turning into manipulation. Being sharp is a gift. But people aren't pieces on a board. Use your mind, just don't lose your humanity along the way. Reason number 4, isolation and distancing. Sigma males value solitude. It gives them space to think, reset, and operate freely. But when time alone turns into isolation, something starts to break, slowly, quietly, and often without warning. The danger here isn't just being alone. It's becoming unreachable. When a Sigma male pulls too far away from the world, people stop trying. Friends stop calling. Family stops checking in. Opportunities go unnoticed. And he doesn't feel it at first, because solitude feels like peace. But after a while, that peace turns into numbness. Conversations feel harder. Emotions feel distant. He starts to believe that nobody understands him, and sometimes that nobody even should. This isolation creates real risk. Without outside voices, the Sigma male starts to believe his own echo. He makes decisions in a vacuum. He assumes his view is the clearest. And when something goes wrong, he takes the full weight alone because no one was let in. Others see this and feel pushed away. They assume the Sigma male doesn't care, that he's too far gone, that he's built walls too thick to break through. And once that belief sets in, even the people who care most stop trying to reach him. So what can help? The answer isn't more social time, it's intentional connection. A short message. A one-on-one coffee. A check-in with someone trusted. You don't need to explain everything or be around people all the time. Just enough to stay connected, to remember that you're part of something bigger than your own thoughts. Solitude is strength. But complete isolation? That's a slow fade into invisibility, and no one is strong enough to carry everything alone forever. Reason number 5. Pride in self-sufficiency. Taken too far, self-sufficiency is one of the strongest traits a Sigma male has. He knows how to solve problems, manage stress, and survive without leaning on others. But when that pride becomes too big, it stops being a strength and turns into a weakness. The idea of not needing anyone sounds powerful. But in real life, everyone needs something: support, advice, feedback, even just company. The Sigma male may push all of that away, believing it makes him stronger. But in doing so, he limits his own growth. This overconfidence can also blind him to his own blind spots. No matter how sharp or experienced someone is, there are always things they can't see. But when you believe that no one else has anything to offer you, you stop listening. You stop learning. You stop growing. And this mindset doesn't just hurt the Sigma male, it hurts others too. People who care about him may feel useless. They want to help but are pushed away. They see him struggle but know he'll never ask. Over time, those relationships weaken. The pride in self-sufficiency can also lead to burnout. The Sigma male might take on too much, carry every burden, and refuse to rest or delegate. Not because he has to, but because he doesn't trust anyone else to carry the load. What's the solution? Keep your independence, but allow small moments of support. You don't need help every day. But when you do, ask. Let people show up for you, not because you're weak, but because even the strongest people perform better with the right team. Self-sufficiency is powerful, but pride without openness becomes a trap. Don't build a life so independent that no one can reach you, or that you can't reach out when it matters most. Reason number 6. Moral ambiguity or flexible boundaries. Sigma. Males don't follow the rules just because they exist. They question everything: systems, traditions, authority, and even morals. They build their own code, one that makes sense to them, not one handed down by society. While this makes them highly independent, it also opens the door to moral ambiguity. This means their sense of right and wrong isn't always the same as everyone else's. They might bend rules if they believe it serves a bigger purpose. They may not speak out against something wrong if it doesn't affect them directly. They're not trying to hurt anyone, they just don't see life as black and white. But that mindset becomes dangerous when it crosses certain lines. Without a fixed moral compass, the Sigma male can justify almost anything. He may lie to protect his privacy. He may ghost someone without explanation, thinking it's cleaner that way. He may cut corners or act out of pure logic, forgetting that feelings and ethics still matter. This flexible morality isn't about being evil. It's about being detached from collective norms. And while that works in some areas, like creativity or innovation, it can cause real harm in relationships, communities, or work settings where trust is built on shared values. Others may see this as being slippery or untrustworthy. They might say, "He always does what's best for him," or "You never know where he stands." And in time, that reputation sticks, even if it started from good intentions. So what can be done? The solution is to define personal boundaries that still respect others. You don't have to follow society's rules blindly, but you do need to know where your own lines are. Ask yourself what you truly believe in, not just what feels convenient. And once you decide, live by it, even when it's hard. Clarity in values builds trust. You can still be flexible in thinking without being vague in character. When people know what you stand for, they're more likely to stand with you. Being morally flexible doesn't have to mean being dangerous. But without awareness, it can lead there, fast. The Sigma male isn't loud. He doesn't chase attention. He doesn't try to lead or follow. But that doesn't make him harmless. In fact, it's his silence, his control, and his independence that make him more dangerous than most people realize. We've gone through 6 reasons why this kind of man can cause more impact, sometimes without meaning to. Emotional detachment. Unpredictable moves. Quiet manipulation. Deep isolation. Pride taken too far. And unclear morals. These aren't just habits. They're deep traits that, when left unchecked, can do real damage to others and to the Sigma male himself. But here's the truth. Danger isn't always bad. It's power without direction that becomes a problem. The same traits that can harm are also the ones that can build. A Sigma male who understands his effect on others and chooses to act with awareness becomes one of the most stable forces in any room. The goal isn't to soften your edge. It's to sharpen your focus. If you see yourself in these reasons, don't run from them. Study them. Understand where they show up. Learn how to manage them. The world doesn't need fewer Sigma males. It needs better ones. Use your mind. Use your strength. But most of all, use your judgment. Because the most dangerous man in the room isn't the loudest. It's the one who knows exactly what he's capable of and chooses to use it wisely. Thanks for watching.